Hi, Niels.
Hi, hello.
When you're activating a culture,
hmm
in your experience, what is the best way? Is it should you start with leadership? Should you start bottom up, a random combination of leadership and employees? How would you start activating a new aspired culture?
Cool. Yeah, that's a difficult one. I think I've tried and tested all of them that you mentioned, failed miserably at some of them. And I think after some time, this is what I found out or settled on. There is in defining cultures, there is a reason that you want to go bottom up, top down, and have combinations of them. If you want to activate, and again, we listen to a lot of people there, most of them do look up to their leaders to really lead by example. And this is also where the boot camps come in. I'll explain more about the boot camps later on. The the essence is that if you want to have that culture change really activated, so what does it mean for me? What does it mean for the team, for the organization? There needs to be a leader that you as an employee can follow. So the bulk of the organization obviously is not in a leadership position.
Yeah.
All of them are owning the subject of culture, but you need leaders to really lead by example and share stories about how that
Yeah.
should be, how it connects to the strategy. And that's where people just really literally look up to their leaders.
Yeah.
So boot camps, they make sure that you combine all of that, that you provide leaders with some sort of a kit, a toolkit, a starting kit to make that work for them.
Yeah. And how would a specific boot camp look like? What is the composition, or how long does it take? Is it online, offline? What do you advise?
Yeah, what we typically do is we try and, because again, so you have defined your culture and now you want to activate it in the whole organization. A lot of times there are separate subcultures within the organization that you want to merge. So I feel that there is a strong link to making sure that these bootcamp groups are mixed, so that there's people
Yeah.
from different divisions, different geographies. And by doing so, it makes it more logical to do it online, to do it on Teams.
Yeah.
Again, by doing so, it makes it logical to not have it take one full day of people, but rather than that, take 2 half days or make it modular.
Yeah.
Typical group size would be somewhere between 10 to 20 people. 20 is a bit large, I would say. What you often see, and it depends again on where people are coming from, that interaction is great somewhere in that sweet spot of 12 people, let's say.
Yeah.
So there's enough people that you can be silent sometimes, but there's also so many views and expressions that you want to chip in with.
Yeah.
We often work with breakout groups as well, that we don't have groups larger than, let's say, 3 people,
Yeah.
because that's where the real interaction takes place. But more than 20, people just lean backwards and they don't say anything. Less than, I would say, 8 people can become silent as well. Yeah.
And you said it would be good to mix people over different teams. Would you also mix executives with division directors and team leaders, or would you go per level?
Definitely, but that it does depend. Definitely mix them over hierarchies.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
but it does depend a little bit on the client, I would say. So sometimes, let's say the more traditional clients, they really want to have their senior management do this first. And
well, now after that, nobody dares to not mix, Niels, since you position them as traditional clients.
True.
Very nice, very nice. And would you say that this is mandatory, such a boot camp, or voluntary? What is your practice there?
Again, a very good question. Well, we often tell, or I often tell my clients that this is a voluntary exercise.
Yeah.
And they feel a little bit awkward about that because they want everyone to enroll. And I tell them often that they just need to trust the process, that once this starts and people start becoming enthusiastic about it, start enrolling for these boot camps, and there will be people signing up anyway, it will be word of mouth. They will tell other people this was great, because you learn things about change management in general. You learn again about the strategy and how it connects to behaviors. You learn about how you can tell stories to your people to get them on board and embark on the journey. There's things about psychological safety that you learn lot of things about the change that are really, really relevant. So have the other people use word of mouth and market it for you. That's how so it's voluntary. Yeah,
right. So voluntary mixed boot camps to activate new cultures. For instance, after a merger or after an enormous disruptive new strategy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks for your inspiration, Niels.